Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very last few weeks of Pluto being back in Capricorn, finishing up its cycle. And in our lifetimes, it's never going to be back again. And in this time, it is a wild time of rewards. And I want to help make the most of these rewards. I want to do this for myself. I want to do this with you. I want everyone to be rewarded because this is a time where we go from 2008 to now. And so think about 2008 to now. What has changed in your life? What has shifted? What has changed? What have you been working on? This is something pretty extraordinary because it's a long stretch of time that Pluto was in Capricorn, and it's been going into Aquarius and coming back and going in and coming back, just kind of testing the waters. But Pluto in Capricorn is a big reorganization of life. And so when you think of Capricorn, it's very much about the rules. Capricorn is very structured. It's about getting your tasks done. It's about doing all the things in the right way, coloring within the lines. And Pluto in Aquarius is the opposite. It's power to the people, unlimited possibilities, so much innovation. And I don't know about you, but when earlier this year, Pluto was in Aquarius, it was like I could fly. Everything was so easy. And yet Pluto in Capricorn was very like, okay, I've got to get myself motivated and do this today. And it's a whole different vibe. Now we're walking into a space of collective, unlimited possibility and innovation. And all the guardrails are off in the best possible ways. And it's time to make the biggest breakthroughs. But before that, we get to finish up this cycle. So what has changed for you since 2008? It might be a few areas of life, but really there's a standout usually area of life. And I could tell you in 2008 was when my early internet popularity started on the Tumblr platform. And it revolutionized what would become, it led me to what would become a whole career and a world that I didn't ever anticipate. It was all for fun back then. And so maybe there was something like that for you. Maybe something new came into your life. Maybe something, a new job or a new path, new priorities, new challenges, things that you've had to overcome. The idea is that Pluto enters a part of your life and guides you through 15 to 20 years of, or sometimes more, sometimes a little bit less, of really restructuring everything. And Pluto in Capricorn is massive restructuring because that's what Capricorn's all about. So what was that for you? Because now all the work that you've done is about to reap these massive rewards. So it's time to celebrate. It's time to really reflect for just a little while, just a moment, reflect back on how your life has changed since 2008. What have you learned? How have you grown? What is different? What do you want to change? What is now a standout for you? Do you have new big goals and priorities that are emerging? That's going to be really important in this next 20-year cycle, which starts on November 19th. So from now until November 19th, let's wrap up this cycle. And because this is Pluto and Capricorn, it's that reorganization. It's that last bit of decluttering. It's all the things to help you to zoom forward. So my first question to you is, have you been in a rut? If you have been in a rut lately, if you've been doing the same things again and again and again and expecting a different result, or you can't seem to break out of some sort of pattern that you've been in, now is a great time to get out of that rut. Go back to the last video that I posted on YouTube. I just posted it a few days ago, and it is all about this, about I have reached a point where I could not go on the same way. It is unacceptable. I don't know if any of you, I think many of you actually, are fans of Serious Joy, Christopher Witecki. And he's been saying in so many different ways, it's time for this new, it's time for this new. And I've been getting all these messages from him that it's time to do things in a new way. And then Chris Reck, my other favorite that I listen to all the time, Minnow Pontero, has been saying again and again and again and again and again, to at least Virgos, you are a butterfly. It's time to transform. You have to do things in new ways. And I'm like, I get it. New things, new ways, new things, new ways. So how can you do that? I've been asking myself that question. I've been getting that message everywhere. Have you been getting that message too? Because it's really interesting. I'm sweating. It's so hot. It is so hot. It's suddenly 1,000,000 degrees. I don't know. Pluto in Capricorn started, and all of a sudden there's a heat wave in Los Angeles after it was cold for a very long time. So again, we're being busted out of a rut in all ways. Things are getting shaken up. So if you have been in a rut, now is the time to break free. So go back to that video. I go through all kinds of feng shui that you can do, including shaking up your environment, setting really, really, really powerful goals for yourself, things that just put you on the edge of your seat. You just can't wait to do them. All of this in the service of breaking out of those ruts and making big breakthroughs. Now, another thing you can ask yourself in the next 2 months, are there cycles in your life that you have not finished? So this used to be my passport. I just finally, after sitting with this for, I think, 2 years on my desk to renew, there's no passport. I finally went and got it done. It took 5 minutes. It took 5 minutes. It took 5 minutes, not even waiting online, 5 minutes to do this, to get the process started. It comes in the mail later. That was it. 5 minutes. And yet I waited for years. Why? And I asked myself that this morning. Why did it take me so long to do this? And I was like, oh, because I was limiting myself. I got invited to do so many things, incredible things that I didn't do because it was too confusing to figure out how to get my passport renewed fast enough. And finally, my friend was like, enough. You are holding yourself back. And I was like, you know what? You're right. So what is that for you? What projects have you not finished yet? What things have you let just sit on the back burner? If you have those things that have been just sort of dragging, you want to finish those up so you have nothing left. You might even find extra motivation to finish those things up. House projects, projects for your life, doing administrative stuff like getting your passport renewed. All of this is going to help you zoom into the new chapter that's ahead. Now, a big question to ask yourself as this cycle is finishing is, do you have disorganization holding you back, including habits that are holding you back, things that you can reorganize in the months ahead? I have to reorganize my sleep schedule. I know every time I get into a big creative project, all of a sudden I'm up really late at night and then I sleep too late and then it's just a cycle. And while nothing's really wrong with it, I know it's not optimal for me. Do you have any of that stuff going on? Maybe there are things that you're like, oh, I should quit coffee. And then you find yourself drinking coffee by 11 o'clock. Or, oh, I really don't like the way that this habit makes me feel. And I yet keep going there. Unconsciously, I find myself back there. What can you reorganize and finally solidify? Remember, you have this Pluto in Capricorn helping you to solidify these habits that are going to serve your highest good. A lot of people talk about Pluto as like so destructive, all these negative connotations. And the way I see it, if something doesn't belong, either we let it go or it is somehow let go. And it's kind of like those messages from the universe where you hear it and you hear it, you hear it. And if you don't listen, it's like boom in your face. Like, okay, I can't wait anymore. It's like the little leak in, I've heard this from so many students and so many clients over the years, this little leak in faucet or a little leak in a pipe. And you're like, oh, okay, let me just put a bucket under it. And you just kind of let it go and let it go and let it go. And you keep getting a message that you should do something about it. And then boom, something happens. And you don't want to wait for the boom. You don't want to wait until you're pushed Do it now. Follow those instincts that you have because they are leading you in all the best directions. So very, very important. Now, seek more refinement to feel more put together. What do I mean by that? So when you are put together, when you're organized, when you have your life together, I'll refrain from using the other phrase. When you have things together for yourself, when you feel put together, that's a whole level of confidence that you gain. It's a whole level of dynamic that you gain. And this is something you can do in your environment, and it's something you can do for yourself, for your life, and for you. So you can think about putting yourself together, meaning maybe I need to reorganize my closet and start dressing differently and feel more put together. It's really wild. I found this jumpsuit that I've never worn, along with a whole lot of other stuff that I've never, ever worn that I got during the whatever we want to call it, lockdowns. And I got all this stuff thinking, when am I going to leave my house again? And I never wore it. And I found it when I reorganized my closet and got rid of a bunch of stuff. You might have stuff that you uncover. You may have things that you've forgotten you have. I found another dress I forgot I had. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to wear this. This is where you can take full advantage of all of your resources. When you are organized, you can take advantage of things that you have that you didn't even remember was there. I have so many people tell me when they're decluttering, I forgot I had this. Oh my goodness, this is so impossibly amazing. I needed this so badly. So get in there and start looking at ways you can perhaps put your closet together in a new way so you can dress differently or feel more put together. Look at ways that you can feel more put together in your schedule. Do you need a new schedule? Do you need a new calendar? Do you need to even get a new planner to put things together for yourself? How can you feel more on top of things? That's a good word to use. I want you to think about what would make you feel on top of things. What would make you feel like you weren't chasing the day? So whatever you might reorganize, it might be meal planning. It might be thinking about new ways of getting groceries so that you always have something to eat at home, or whatever it is, planning in new ways. What's going to help you to feel more put together? Because when Pluto goes into Aquarius, November 9th on, and it's a slow progression, but this time is going to go, I don't want to say the time is going to go faster, but we'll say that the velocity of change is faster. And I've noticed that. Have you noticed that? Like at the beginning of the year, did you feel like there was a period of time, Pluto was in Aquarius, did you feel like there was a period of time where things were just like boom, 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 go, go, go? And it's a faster energy. There was a bit of it in 2023 as well. And you could feel the velocity of it. You could feel the quickening of it. Change, change, change. So when we're really put together, you can make the most of all that change. You can make the most of everything because you don't feel like you're behind or you're missing things or you haven't done a step yet. You've got it all done. Now, a big piece of this is to detox needless fear from your life so that you can embrace a new future. And this is a time where, as I said at the beginning, reflect on your life since 2008, but don't reflect for too long, because this is a time to face forward. It's a time to go fearlessly into the unknown, to innovate like never before. So what would that look like if you spent less time entertaining fear or holding yourself back because of fear, and instead you started getting that fear off of your life? So a few suggestions: if you have friends who are very fearful about what might happen in the future, there's a lot of existential crisis, there's a lot of real crisis, but how we approach it is everything. And we're moving into a time of power to the people, collectively, our power. So when we are more fearless, we can inspire other people to be more fearless as well, to face things, to face challenges, to not get into needless fear. So if you've been having a lot of conversations with people about fears of what might happen, what might come next, why? Unless it's prompting you to take an action, which is useful, fear is just a stop, a big block. It's one of the biggest blocks that we experience. A lot of times people say, oh, I have a money block, I have a block to love. And a lot of times it's just a fear. And so where else does fear come into your life? Could it be from media? Could it be from the news where you suddenly are filled with fear about the future or filled with fear about something else? It's important to be informed. It's important not to be in an emotional chaos state of constant fear. And so notice that for yourself and see how you can detox any of that needless fear. Also, if you've been taking in information or going to see experts, or I had a client who was going to a life coach who was filling her with fear and limiting her goals. And I know she said, and I agreed, it was all being done in, in the kindest possible way. It wasn't being done to be destructive. But it's very hard when you have fear. It's hard not to project that fear onto other people. And so we don't want to be limiting people. We want to be lifting them up into infinite possibility. So if you are feeling any of that, fear is an important emotion. We need it. It prompts us to move. There's a great book, The Gift of Fear, which talks about, how you can be more aware and alert in the world. And there's a gift to that instinct that we have. But then there's that false fear, that existential fear, that stuff that stops us from being all that we are, all that we can be. And that leads us to the final thing I want to talk about today, which is the programming that you immerse yourself in. And in this time, take these months and ask yourself, what is it that I want to believe? Do I want to believe that I am absolutely unlimited in the amount of money that I make with ease? Do I want to believe that there is nothing standing in my way from being the strongest I've ever been? Do I want to believe that I can heal myself? Do I want to believe that I can, conquer a challenge that I never thought I could, or I can overcome an emotion, or I can handle a really difficult situation? If you feel in any way like you can't, it's because you were shown and told that by other people. We weren't born with these ideas. They were all programmed into us, and we all know this. And you don't have to change all your programming in order to be your best self. However, you can start by being more present in the moment where you're creating your life actively. And then you can also start immersing yourself in the programming you want. And how do you do that? So from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, you can affirm what it is that you are creating. You can affirm that you are the wealthiest person that you know. You can affirm that everything works out for you. You can affirm these things in words. You can also start creating an entire environment, which is what we do on this channel. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and you will learn so much. But when you immerse yourself in the programs that you want, Feng Shui in this very unique and singular way that we do it here, unlike anything else in the world, is a true reprogramming of your mind, of your energy field, of your habits. And this is where you make real transformation. Pluto is a planet of transformation. Changing your environment is part of this transformation. So how can you start doing this today? Just think about what that big program is that you want to shift. What is it that you want to believe? Do you want to believe that you are unstoppably powerful? You are endlessly healthy? Whatever it is, start bringing more of that energy into your home organically. You don't need to know anything about Feng Shui to begin doing this. Even just doing more house cleaning, more decluttering, more opening the windows, opening the doors, getting fresh energy around you. That in itself is the start of a revolution for you. And keep affirming what it is that you want to program yourself with. Only listen to and watch things that you want to program yourself with. Have conversations and steer them towards these amazing, empowering themes. That way you are immersed in this new program all day long. We are going to collectively create the future when Pluto moves into Aquarius. So I am so ready to continue to show up and share and teach in the Feng Shui school. Everything I know, everything I've done, I am a different person from where I was 5 years ago. I'm a completely different person from where I was when I started doing this work, but I'm the same person. I'm just me unlimited, more unlimited. There's still more room to grow. There's always more room to grow. But if you asked me 22 years ago if I'd be doing this today or anything like this or doing anything of this sort, it would be absurd. I didn't believe in me. I didn't believe in certain possibilities. I could say them, but I didn't believe them. So I want to ask you, do you say things like, I know I'm fearless, or I know everything is possible, but are you really living it? Do you really believe that? And be honest with yourself, because I could tell you very honestly, I did not believe that, although I would say it. I would read the books, I would watch the things, I was doing self-help practices since I was 12. I have been doing all of this. And when I stopped believing certain things were possible for me, no matter how many times I just said it, if I didn't truly feel it, believe it, know it for myself, it wasn't going to be real. So there's that part of affirming and writing affirmations and visualization and all of that, which is so important. But then there's the part of living it. And that's where your environment comes in. That's where you immerse yourself in what you want. That's where you can't help but believe it because you're living it right now, not out in the future. You're not waiting until some future, hoping and wishing. You're not doing old feng shui where you put, old school ideas where you put purple and pink in different places and something manifests for you. This is about your life and how you live. And that's what we do here. I don't want you to become a different person. I want you to be you unlimited. And that's what this time is about, with Pluto moving into Aquarius by November 19th. But before then, finishing up this cycle. Let's finish up these cycles for ourselves. And if you want to join us in the deepest transformation ever of your home and of the way energy moves through your life, becoming a master of shaping energy, of creating these new programs for yourself, and learning to do it for others confidently with ease. The School of Intention is open right now for registration. And there is a link in the description box or above if you're watching this on Facebook to learn more and join us. It's going to be so much fun. I want to see. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Tiffany. As an astrologer, I love your content. That means so much to me. Oh my goodness. One day I will be in a place where I feel like I could ever call myself an astrologer. But for now, I am very much in tune with the cycles, working with the energy as much as possible, and continually learning. And that's what this time is all about. Just wait until after the 19th. It is going to be such a rocket ride. But right now, get ready to reap the rewards. And if you want to know how to open the doors as far as possible, and you don't really know what the right step is first, but you want to know what that is for you, just keep clearing clutter. I am so happy. Sharon, by the way, Sharon Turner has the best aromatherapy I have ever used in my life. And every single time, I wish I had some to show, secret scent aromatherapy. Every single time, she's a student in the school, and she's also an incredible aromatherapist. Every single time I am wearing one of the oils, or I bring someone some of the oil as a gift, they wind up buying some because they are obsessed with it. And people become obsessed with it because it's all really wild, rare, Australian, super strong, super high vibe. It's next level. So I just want to celebrate you. You're incredible. You're all incredible. Celebrate yourselves. Everyone, please celebrate yourselves. I'm going to do a birthday video because I have a big birthday that is coming up. And so I'm going to do a birthday live stream probably. And it's all about looking forward, not looking backwards, but looking forward. I'm going to probably do a birthday live stream on Monday or this weekend. And there are so many more videos to come. So if you aren't following along, please follow along. If you have questions, leave them below. And if you want to join us in the school, you'll find the link below. I love having calls with people. So feel free to book a call. And I love you guys so much. I will see you soon. Here's to the rewards. Bye. Thank you.